Good morning, everybody. It's Kaye Giles, and I am here with you this morning for God's Morning with Kaye Giles. And I am extremely excited. Let me let my seat up just a little bit more, because I told you guys we were going to now start dealing with the toxic relationship of having bad credit. That is a most definitely bad behavior, having bad credit. And what I want you guys to know is that in this initiative of toxic relationships, we want to get rid of any and everything that will be toxic to our lives. So this morning, I'm coming to you live on my commute to take my son to school today. And we are going to talk to you most definitely about your credit. Now, yesterday I told you guys that I wanted to know how many of you were going to go do it. Now, I realize that this is a social media thing, and that, some people who watch, you may say to yourselves, okay, I'm just watching. I really don't want anybody to know what I have going on in my personal life, so I'm not going to respond. But that's fine. But what I really want to make sure that you guys are doing, I'm going to make sure that you're actually going and doing what you need to do for your lives to make them better. I want you to recapture your dream life. I want you to make sure that you're getting everything that you need out of this life that God has given us here on this earth. And once again, my mantra for when things are going great and when things are not going so great and when things are going totally bad is, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. So since that is our number one thing that we're going to start using for the summer, one of our number one scriptures we're going to use for the summer, and that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us, we're going to start dealing with our credit. And that's what the poster was about on yesterday, dealing with the toxic relationship of bad credit. Morning, Onika. Good morning, Renee. How are you? And that's the thing that we're talking about now. So yesterday I asked you guys, I told you to get a copy of your credit reports, and I wanted you to get them from all three bureaus. And that would be, the one that I couldn't remember yesterday was Equifax. So it's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And you want to get them all. And the best way to do that, and I'm not knocking Credit Karma, I'm not knocking any other credit reporting system that's out there that says that they can help you in this vein, but I want you to go to annualcreditreport.com. And the reason is because they are the one that is most recognized for housing, all three agencies in one. And they talk to one another in the point of checking your score. So you can go in and you can print out all three of your credit reports so that you'll have them, because we want to end the toxic relationship of having bad credit. A lot of people go around and they're buying these things and they're having this stuff. And I know that God is able to do anything. Sometimes favor is, I don't know if you guys can hear me saying, are you kidding me? Because okay, guys, I'm back. So I guess it was me going through the underpath of the park to hit Kelly Drive that we had to reconnect. I'm not sure, because yesterday, to God be the glory, we definitely handled the situation of the phone. God was able, God showed favor. But let's get back to this credit. Okay, so we're getting back to the point of having credit and having the kind of credit that will get us where we need to be. We want to have a good name. So what we're dealing with now is the relationship that we're dealing with now is the toxic relationship of having bad credit. A lot of us are our own worst enemies because we think we need things that are totally unnecessary. But what I want to get us to the point of understanding is ownership is a very good thing, but without a good name, which would be your FICO credit score, you're not going to be able to have ownership of certain types of things that you want to own. And now is the time and the season for the saints to get exactly what we want and exactly what we need, because God is going to get into our lives and into the systems and give us the favor. But how do many of us know what I always tell you? Faith without works is dead. Courageous faith. We're going to be talking about this in the morning, in God's morning. Dear my heart, love to now toxic relationships. The toxic relationship we're dealing with right now is bad credit. We most definitely saw the poster go out yesterday. We're going to be doing it 7:30 in the morning, and we're going to be doing it at around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And that'll most definitely be much easier for me on tomorrow when both of the kids are back at school and they can take their bus. But for today, it'll be at 4 p.m. It'll be me, you, and Zachariah once again. But I really want you guys to do that. Go to annualcreditreport.com, all one word. I want you to get your tax returns. I mean, not your tax returns. We're going to get to that, though. But I want you to get to your credit reports. And when you get your credit report, I want you to look at it. Take your time. look at it, get a highlighter, get a pen, and get a notepad. So what are you going to need to do this? You're going to go to annualcreditreport.com for one, and you're going to get all of your reports. When you're within it, it's going to ask you to make an account. So make your an account, because you can get this free once a year, okay, from each reporting agency. So then you get it. You print all 3 of them out. Once you print the first one, it's going to tell you to go back and do the same thing that you did for the next 2. Do that, compare. And when I say you need a notepad, you need the notepad next to you. Just because you have the paperwork in front of you, I would suggest that you do this with the notepad next to you, so that you can write down things that are all the same and all the amounts that all coincide on all 3 reports. So once you have the things that coincide on all 3 reports, let's say you have one of my favorite stores in the world. We all know I worked for Nordstrom, and I love Nordstrom. So we're going to say Nordstrom. So say you have something on your report for Nordstrom, and let's say it's something derogatory. Let's say you had a credit card for $500 for Nordstrom. You did not pay it. So now what's happening is you have a $500 charge off, but it's still on your credit. Okay, so the charge off means that the company has charged it off to their insurance and they've paid your bill, but yet they're still coming after you for the money, which turns it into collections. And what happens when things get into collections? Collections agencies start adding on fees to what you actually owe. But can you get out of those fees? Can you do that? Yes, you can. And you can also get to a place where you can negotiate not paying the whole bill back. Now you're saying to yourself, okay, Kay, so how will that help me if I don't pay the whole bill back? Because once you do a settlement arrangement with someone, they have to honor that. But if you're looking at it in this past 7 years and you want to have it removed, the bad debt, you can write the letter and have the bad debt removed. Now, you can definitely go online and you can look up letters for creditors for bad debt. And sometimes even within the Microsoft Office suite of the Word products, they do have letters for creditors for things that you owe. And you can ask to be forgiven of that debt and make sure that you have it removed. Because after 7 to 10 years of having bad debt on your credit, they are obligated, if you ask, to take it off. Now, also be very, very careful in how you do it and how you handle it. Because sometimes how you handle a creditor is what they'll do. Because every now and then in certain states and in certain laws where you live, once you call and inquire about it and you guys have a conversation, the first thing the creditor will definitely do is they'll try to reestablish getting the money from you. So they may sell it to another broker in order to get their money. So what are you saying, Kay? They can definitely sell to another broker to get their money from you. Okay, but you also have the ability to write the letter, have it removed from your credit report so that your numbers can start boosting, so they can go up. And another thing I want to suggest to you that I did suggest to my Courageous Faith followers, Let's Talk Business, I would like for you to get an unsecured credit card and a secured credit card. An unsecured credit card is one that you are given with no collateral, no money down or anything, and they give you a line of credit. So I want you to apply for that. But I also want you to apply for a secured credit card, which means that you're going to have to put money on the card to use it. But what both of these things do is build your credit. I want you to use one for groceries and bills, and then I want you to use the other one for gas. Now listen to me closely. These are items that the credit reporting bureaus find as necessities, and then when you get your bill at the end of the month, pay your total bill. So you're saying, okay, how can I do that? You can do it the same way you would with your paycheck. So if you're bringing home a paycheck after taxes for $1,500 and you have a credit card company that is giving you $500 worth of credit, take that credit card, spend $500 within the month, okay? Then when you get paid, take $500 from your paycheck and pay your credit card bill instantaneously. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. I've been doing it long enough. Stop that. Hello, sir, bring it down. I've been doing this long enough that every time I watch it, it boosts my numbers. And I'm very excited that it's boosting my numbers. And even when I use one of my secured cards, I found that it's boosting my numbers because it's what I'm paying for. It's not at a store. It is not frivolous items. They're seeing that I'm paying household bills like the Pico bill, the water bill, the gas bill, when they see that as the creditors, they start saying this person is responsible. This person is doing what they're supposed to do by themselves and by their credit. Now, don't get me wrong. You can do the other stuff that you want to do. It'll still help build your credit. And if you also have one major store card, that would be good too. So if you guys didn't know, Sears is one of those stores, even though they've closed down a lot of stores. If you have a Sears credit card, it's almost like having a major unsecured credit card. Sears has clout. Sears and Roebuck has clout. You know, there has been a time when you would have to have a Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express card in order to be deemed having a major credit card. But now I want you guys to always remember, Sears and Roebuck, even though they're not Sears and Roebuck anymore, they're only Sears. If you have a Sears credit card, you will definitely be deemed someone who has good credit. Why? Because Sears does not give a credit card to everybody. They are very selective, because Sears was the first place that people could do everything in one area. You could buy home goods, you could buy clothing, you could do photos, you could get eyeglasses, you could do things for your car, you could buy household wares, and you could buy household goods. You even could get things for repairs, and you could get tires, everything. So Sears was the place to go. Yes, Zachariah is in his seatbelt. He is. Zach, you're in your seatbelt, correct? Okay, yes, he's in his seatbelt. So this was one of the places that housed everything. So having a Sears and Roebuck card was like major. That means that you were, you know, somebody, your credit was doing something. So if you have that, guys, and it's in good standing, you're on your way. You are definitely on your way. So what am I saying? The first thing we want to do today, take your pens and your papers out, or make a note, come back and visit the video. First thing I want you guys to do, like we talked about yesterday, was get your annual credit report from annualcreditreport.com. Get that. Then get all three, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Then get you a notepad. And also, if you have the ability in using a laptop and you know how to use Excel software, get you an Excel Excel spreadsheet rather, open. Put every bill in the first column, which would be column A. You know, so on row 1, you want to put the name of creditor. In 2, you want to put when the bill is due. 3, how much is past due. What is the minimum balance? Now listen to me closely and be very wise, people, as you're listening to me. Minimum balances do not pay off your credit card bill. If you pay the minimum, it keeps you in good standing, but it does not pay down the bill, and it does not pay down the interest. It means that you have integrity with the credit card company. And since you have integrity with them, they're going to allow you to carry this debt because they're giving you so much time to pay it off. So if they're telling you your minimum payment on $500 per month will be $25, only about $5 is definitely, thank you, sir, is definitely going to your bill. All that $20 is in all those fees that the credit card company has going on, which is keeping you in debt. Now, some debt is good debt, some debt is bad debt. If it's debt that you're paying on and you're definitely doing it, that's great, but it's not going to pay it down. It's not going to pay down your debt. You're going to have to do more than that. Okay, so another little tidbit I want to give you too for dealing with your credit. If you have a car note and you have the ability to refinance for a lower note, do that as well. But let me give you a tip about car notes, guys. Now, some of you, if you're not leasing your cars and you're purchasing, there's a difference between purchasing and leasing. Even though the bank still owns the car while you're paying your monthly note, that's why repossessions come into play. Be mindful that while you're doing that, you're not paying on the interest rate that you were given at the time that you purchased your car. What you need to do is, in order to do that, let's say your note is $250 a month on your car. What you want to do is you want to then take your car note up to $300. You want to take your car note up to $300, and you want the $250 to pay your car note, and you want to tell them that the other $50, you want them to put it on the interest. Okay, I remember when my mom, she had a Grand Mercury Marquis, and I remember her paying off the car. And when she got to paying off the car, they told her she owed $1,000 more in interest and taxes and fees and things like that. I forget what it was. I really do believe it was just the interest that she owed. And she was like, "Are you kidding me? I've paid all this time for this car. I'm about to have this, you know, title burning ceremony, and you're telling me I still owe $1,000. Now, luckily for my mom, she was good with money, and by her being the businesswoman personified that she was, you know, she went wherever she went, and she had that $1,000, and she told that man to get about her face, and she paid it off. But I want you guys to do that. If you can afford to do that and take your car note up, you want to put money on the interest. If you can't do $50, do something to put it on the interest. So if it's $250 is your car note, pay $260. Say, please take this $250, and you call them and say, okay, I paid my note. I want you to apply the extra $10 to my interest. And then have them send you something that does that. We're in the age of technology, so where you definitely can find out anything that you need to find out, because they give you these online accounts with things that you have out there that you need to pay. Because why? They want their money. They want to make it as convenient for you as possible. But with that being said, you control your money. You control your money, you control your credit, and you control your destiny. So what you have to definitely do is you have to tell them where you want your money to go. We have to start acting as if we have dominion and knowing it 100% in every area of our lives. So even when it comes down to simply paying your car note, that's what you need to do. And if you're paying a very high insurance rate for your car insurance because of who you are and where you live, what I want you to do is, if you're working for some of these big companies, they have certain insurance carriers and brokers that give them a break. I want you to check with your company to find out which insurance carrier that they get a discount with. Okay, and I want you to use that carrier, because what it does is it gives you certain perks. So like when you would have to put down a premium for your insurance when you first get it, if you go through your job and your job has, let's say they deal with Liberty Mutual. That was one we had when when my husband used to work for UPS, and he used to use Liberty Mutual, and that's what we had. So our insurance was very economical on the car, and it was good because he worked at UPS. But I definitely want you to check with your companies to find out what insurance carrier that they have that you would get a discount from. Just like you can get a discount on your cell phones. Sometimes they give you discounts on all kind of things, travel, whatever. Check with your jobs, okay? Check with your jobs and see what relationships that your corporate company has with other people. So if you even work for something like AT&T, Sprint, I'm telling you, they have corporate things that deal with that. There's so that people that work for Sprint, they may be getting a discount from Geico or Progressive, and you may say, oh well, when I got a quote from them, it was so high. But you're now an employee, you have an employee number. So if you use a certain group ID number when you're going to get your car insurance, it's going to most definitely work in your favor. And all these things about knowing your money and understanding your money will help you keep money. And then, because we know that Kaye Giles, she's an evangelist. We know that this is a faith-based show. It's God's Morning with Kaye Giles. It's God's Morning. It's not Good Morning. It's Courageous Faith, the Courageous Faith show on the radio from 5 to 7 on Sundays. We know these are all faith-based programs. So what am I going to tell you? The number one way to handle your credit and make sure that you have the favor of God is to do what? Come on here. I hear you. That's right. Everybody, to pay your tithe. Give your 10% unto God off your gross. A lot of people like to say, well, what am I supposed to be paying it off of? Am I paying it off of my gross? Am I paying it off of my net? It is off of your gross. It is off of everything that comes into your hands. So if your gross is $2,500, your tithe, every time you get paid is $250. Okay. So if you're one of those people where you want to tithe off of your net, is there a way for you to do that? There most definitely is. Oh my God, I got so excited. I thought I saw my sister. The girl looks just like my sister, like spitting image, but I looked at the tag and it's not a Delaware tag. But anyway, forget me in my sidebars, guys. I'm sorry. But what I want you to do is, I want you to remember that your tithe is 10%. But if you're a net tithe payer, and let's say after the $2,500, they take $500 from you and you're at $2,000. Okay, so then you pay $200 off of your net tithe. What do you have to do at the end of the year? At the end of the year, when you file your income tax and you get your income tax back and you get that earned income credit because you have those children and everything, and let's say Uncle Sam says that you're going to get back $11,000. Well, what is 10% of $11,000? It is $1,100. Are you supposed to tithe that? Yes. If that's the way you want to handle your situation, that's what you have to do, and that will give you 100% guarantee that your money matters will definitely work out in your favor. Yes, I can guarantee that God is going to do that for you, because God said if we're faithful of a few things, he'll bless us. So if we're faithful of a few things and he's still going to bless us, oh my God, just imagine when we're faithful of those things that are truly important to him. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to most definitely do, and be mindful of that. Okay, so you know, when we were family like that, that's what I did. I checked for those discounts, and I looked for those things like that. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, the company that I work for is very, very big. I need to check my Presby's Inspired Life network to find out what discounts that I can get personally for myself as well, because I need them, I want them, and I need them too. So that's one of those good vibe things that I just started thinking about, and I'm like, hey, let's do this. Okay, guys. So also, what we want to talk about is going back to the list and getting it down for figuring out. Sorry for my hand, because there's so much sun right here. What we most definitely need to be doing. So, what we most definitely need to be doing. One, what are we going to tell them, Zachariah? They have to get their credit report. So, get your credit report, and you're going to get it from annualcreditreport.com. Okay, guys? So, what's that, Zach? Annualcreditreport.com. Then, after you do that, you're going to go in, you're going to set up your account, you're going to request, and you're going to save and print your credit reports. Save it to your computer. And all you have to do is to print to save. Is when you hit print, if you don't even have a printer, just hit print. And the first thing that's going to come up is your computer is smart because of Microsoft. What's going to happen is Bill Gates has made it where if you don't have a printer set up to your computer, when you go to save, it's going to automatically come up and say save as a PDF. Save it as a PDF. Click yes, you want to do that. Hit print. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up your file storage system. Then you want to click desktop in the left hand column. It's going to be the first one at the top. Click desktop, open that up, and then hit save. And that's going to put that credit report directly onto your desktop. So it'll be right there when you need it, when you can find it, it's right there. So that's what you can do. And then also, no, you may not, sit back. You will have it right then and there in front of you, and then you can print it out so you can have it, so that you can have all three of them, so you can highlight the items. So the next thing I want you to do is highlight every item that's the same. So if Nordstrom is on all three reporting agencies, do that. Some things might be only on one reporting agency. The other agency may not deem it as a situation, but you want to make sure you're looking at your full credit picture, and you want to start doing that. And then once you get all the money things together, then you want to make your list and your spreadsheet within Excel. I had to think, guys. I was going to say Access, but that's a database system. You want to do that, and then you want to make sure that you have all your things set up in your spreadsheets. In your spreadsheet, all of the bills, when they're due, what the amount is owed, what the amount that you've paid down so far, what is your interest rate, and what are you paying for that? You know, what are late fees? Like if you have a Pico bill and your Pico bill is $300, but it's normally like $180 and you're behind, look at your Pico bill, put the fees in there, and put the late fees into your spreadsheet. And then there's something in Excel that's called the equal and sum. It looks like this fancy little E. It's up in the toolbar. You can highlight a whole row where money is in there, and you can most definitely add up what you owe in fees, the bill payments, everything. And these are things that you can do all the time, so you know where you are. And you can even set it up where the Excel spreadsheet, if you really have the know-how, you can set it up where in your Excel spreadsheet you can most definitely, when you pay a bill, you can put in the amount that you paid, and at the end, it'll tell you what you owe. So if you're paying down something, you can do that too. And if you feel like you do not have the ability to do this on your own, sometimes I feel like I am giving these shameless plugs, but you know what? It's my business, and nobody is going to promote it like I would promote it. So then the next thing I would say to you is come to kayegiles.com, send me an inbox, send me an email, give me a call, and we can definitely set up a time to try to help you most effectively get that done for you. Okay, so what we've been talking about today was, this was God's Morning with Kaye Giles. This is still the Did My Heart Love Till Now Toxic Relationship series. And what toxic relationship are we talking about today? Having bad credit. That is a very toxic relationship, because it keeps you from so many things that you guys need to do. So listen to me, guys. Do me a favor, share the video so that other people can get the information. And don't just share the video because I'm telling you to share it because you believe in the information. And then I'm going to say this to you too. Even if you don't like my information, share the video because somebody else may like it. Even if you don't care for me, share the video. The information is good, because God is going to show favor. And I thank you. Also remember that the Courageous Faith Show comes on to you every Sunday from 5 to 7 on Sador Radio. And if you have not joined me yet, please go to the iTunes Store or the Google Play Store and download the Live and Direct Marketplace app. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, so you can be with me on Sundays and you can have a good time with me. Because on Sunday, in the first half, we're going to deal with having courageous faith and toxic relationships in a personal situation. And then in the afternoon, as we do from 6 to 7, we're going to do Courageous Faith, Let's Talk Business, and we're going to still be dealing with your credit and your credit profile. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you. Oh, thank you, baby. My husband, not my husband, but my son says that my hair looks so nice and it feels so good. He is such a gentleman. I love him so much. But that's what I want you guys to do. And from Zachariah and I, we have to sign off because we have to get him in school. And we always leave you at 8 a.m. But we want you to do these things. Go back. Go through, make your list. Let's do this. Let's do this together, because I want you guys within the next 2 years, I want you guys to be inviting me to things. I want you to invite me to housewarmings. I want you to be sending me, inboxes of your beautiful homes, your walk-in closets, your cars, your businesses, and all these things that I'm trying to teach you and give you for free are definitely going to be able for you to work with them throughout your life and get your life on track. I'm telling you, Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. Write the vision and make it plain upon tables so that when men read it, they will run with it. I'm telling you, that works within your own personal life. So do that. So let's end the cycle of the toxic relationship of bad credit. Please stop doing that, ma'am. I really, guys, I really want you to stop. And if you don't know how to do it, if you don't really want to feel like you can handle the Excel spreadsheet, let me know. Good morning, cousin. Good morning, love. And let me know what you're going to do. And if you need help, and I'll let you know what it's going to cost you to get my help in order for me to help you do this and set up your appointment. And listen, guys, time is very, very valuable. So my time is valuable and so is yours. So do me a favor. Only serious people inquire for taking the time for me to come and meet with you. Okay, guys? Because it takes gas, it takes time, and it takes time away from my family. But like I told you, as an entrepreneur, I can put those 100 hours in the way that I want to put them in, okay? And even still working my 9 to 5, I can still do that. But I want us all to be blessed. I want us all to get to the dominion part of our lives and having everything we want. Because like I keep telling you guys, I'm looking at all these big, beautiful homes in the South, and I'm like, God, I'm going. I would not believe I would say that. But I'm very excited about literally getting everything together and moving to the South. I went to school in Georgia, so it's one of those things that's something that I know, and I'm really, really looking into doing that. I really want to move down South. I really want to leave the city a little bit.